Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. I am Old Man 102. Welcome back to the channel, and let's take a look at Infraspace. Base building slash city building slash space slash management resource game. We're going to jump into a new game. We're going to leave it on medium. We're not going to go into creative mode. We're not going to ignore the technology and the construction costs and all that. We're going to choose a landing spot, randomly generated map, and bam.
Technology is the pillar on which we have founded our civilization. In the year 2351, scientists created the first warp drive, kicking off a race for the stars. As the population expanded on Earth, the rise of exocolonies allowed humans to take life beyond natural boundaries. But technology, like humans, is fallible. The passenger ship Antares was carrying thousands of colonists when a pressure valve overheated and failed, changing the destination of the warp jump. Light years from home, the damaged ship now sits stranded. The crew lacks the materials necessary to repair Antares, but a nearby exoplanet is looking promising. Nepper 3, a planet with plenty of mineral deposits on the surface. In order to survive, they need to establish a settlement here and start mining for resources. It was human ingenuity that got them this far, and to continue on this journey, they will have to rely on it once more. The mission will not be easy, but it's their only hope.
There's the storyline. So I watched one video just to see if just to get a feel for the game and see if it was something I wanted to add to the channel. This game came out, I think, September of 2023. And then bear with me for the first couple episodes till we try and figure things out. I came in for about an hour, and I recorded the first episode, and it went horribly wrong, and I couldn't figure out how to get the tutorial turned itself off. And after I had the first episode recorded, I finally figured out how to turn the tutorial back on. So basically, this is telling us everything that the video just told us. I'm going to zoom out, and again, I'm not getting the tutorial. I have no idea. It's driving me crazy. Show tutorials, yes. Reset known tutorials, apply. Back to game. There we go. Build a road next to sulfur. Now, do you want to get tutorials while you're playing this game? Yes. Making your first city. This panel will guide you through the necessary steps to create your first stable city and research some tech. The construction menu. Click here to construct roads, build them, move them, and destroy them. Camera movement, WASD, and screen edge scrolling. So we're going to want sulfur and sand to start building concrete. That's the first thing it's going to have us do. And I'm looking for a bigger area to build our city in. Where else do we have? We're going to want sulfur, iron, copper, sulfur together. Copper. We got iron, copper. Can I throw it on pause while I look around? I can. We're going to want an open area to build our city in. Looks like... no, we're going to end up back over here, I think. What do we have? Copper, copper, iron. I think we're going to end up starting like right here and getting concrete production going. Sulfur, copper, iron. Sulfur, let's see, so... Alright, so it wants us to build a road next to sulfur. Now, I'm going to leave it on pause for a minute. Oh, I can't. Okay. So if we go into... where is it? The encyclopedia. If we go into roads and highways, avoid left turns, because all your vehicles are going to make right-hand turns coming out of one factory going into another factory. If you get like a four-way intersection, it's going to bottleneck, almost like city skylines. So avoid left turns, because these traffic here has to stop to let the left traffic in. So it's going to want you to build like an up and over thing. So that's when we build everything, we're going to have to keep that in mind. So we have a little red dot under here under roads. We have cheap roads. The only thing we can build right now is a gravel road. Now I want to turn, before I put that in, I want to turn the world. See the little squares? I want to build it on like a northeast-southwest grid. Cheap roads, roads. I'm going to put one in just to satisfy the tutorial. That wants us to build a sulfur mine. I'm going to get rid of this until we figure out where the sulfur mine has to go. So I'm going to go into mines, small mines, sulfur mine. E to rotate. And then if I put it, I think we can get it like right along here. I think we can get it like right along here. So there's going to be our first one. And then we can continue a line of them. Now again, we want them making right-hand turns. Let's go back to roads. Cheap road. And let's get our first road. Leave room for expansion, because we'll put more sulfur mines here. And let's go this way. So it wants us to build a sand mine. So we go to mines, we go to small mines, we go to sand mine. We could put it right across from the concrete. So now it wants us to build a concrete factory. Again, to keep it organized. So they're going to come out of here, they're going to come up here, they're going to make a right-hand turn. And we want to making a right-hand turn into the concrete factory. So industry, concrete. Now, you see the little road, there's a little black dot. Right, well, let me get it down and I'll show you. So I think we're going to put it, we're going to keep this first one tight. I think we can get away with right here. So if you see right here, this little gray shaded area is where the trucks are going to go in and out. So use roads to connect mines with the concrete factory. Okay, we have it all connected with roads. So let's go. Okay, so now it wants us to build a wind turbine. So under power, under wind turbine. And I think we're going to throw the first wind turbine here, because we're going to have to get power poles down anyway. So let's throw that there, and then it's going to want us to connect it to the power grid. So we click there, and we can drag this down. I think we're going to put one there, and then we're going to come back up here and connect. I think we're going to go right there. Build a small construction material storage. So fundamentals, small construction storage. And again, you can see where it's going to connect to the road. Let's leave one space to put a road down the middle, or power poles if we need to. And that should go there, and it should be connected with the road right there, and it is. So we have our sulfur coming in, we have our sand coming in, it's going to make our concrete, it's going to go into storage. So right now, we're making 20 power, we're using 4. We have 8 jobs and 20 population. So we're out of the 20 population, we're employing 8 of them, because 4 of them are employed here, 2 are employed here, and 2 are employed here. Warehouse doesn't take any. So now it wants to get into basic habitats and life support. So now, where do we want to keep our we do not have to connect our concrete production to our habitat. There's a big sulfur deposit here, so once this sulfur runs out, we can move our concrete operation down here. There's a decent sized area here for us to get started in, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to start our habitat area up here. We're going to grab a basic road, and again, keep in mind everything making right-hand turns. Let's start something like that. So it wants fundamentals, basic habitat. And again, it's connecting to the road. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're going to go 6. All right, so these require power and require an atmospheric processor. So we're going to add on to the road. Okay, it's going to require, let's turn our camera this way. So we want to build everything going to the right. So it's going to need atmospheric processors. Now, I'm going to future-proof this because the city is eventually going to require a whole bunch of stuff. And let's bring this road down. Tutorial lane, no, I don't want that. I want to keep this one on, but let's not keep that one on. So it wants us to build a basic life support, atmospheric processor. And again, I want to make sure it connects to the road to the left. So right now it's connecting on the top. E to rotate. Let's leave a space for power poles, so let's go there. So now we have our basic processor. So now it wants us to build a spaceport. Spaceport's going to bring the people in. So we go to fundamentals, we go to spaceport. I think we're going to put this spaceport... Oh, we can expand this city out to the right. So let's go... Keep it tight. Let's go right there. Spaceport. So it wants us to reach a population of 22. Now, none of this is powered. We're going to throw it on its own grid for now. And then eventually, we'll be able to connect everything together. So let's go with 1. Let's go with 2. Let's grab our power poles. And can I get both of them together? Probably not. So let's go there. Okay, it did connect both of them. So let's bring it up to here, and let's just come down to there. And we'll come across the street, and we'll go there. Okay, that should be enough. So now we got power, so now it's requiring oxygen. So our first little truck of oxygen is coming out. I think if you pause and click on it, so we got 2 oxygen coming in, and it's going to the first basic habitat. So our oxygen is going to come in. So if we look at so right now the only thing our houses are requiring are oxygen. So required resources. You need to provide the resources in order to get people to move in. Upgraded resources. If you manage to provide these things, the habitat will upgrade to the next level. So basically it's telling us right now it only requires oxygen, but eventually it's going to require water and survival food in order for it to upgrade from a level 1 to a level 2. We can do so here's our first rocket, or our first shuttle coming in. People coming down from our broken ship. And you're going to see a little car come out of here that'll drive down, and it'll come to here eventually. But it's not going to do that until it gets the oxygen it needs. And the oxygen it needs is on its way in. So we'll wait for this first little bit of oxygen to come in. So now it has a little bit of oxygen. So the second truck's coming down. And it's probably going to go in here until it reaches, until it fills the first one up. And once it fills the first one up, it'll probably go to the second one. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Nope, it's going to go to the next one. Now, once these trucks come in, they just like vanish. They like despawn from the game. So they'll never come back out and go back to the factory. They'll come in here, they'll make their delivery, and they'll disappear. This guy, immigrants ready to move in, are 10. And already requires habitat level 1, which we are building. So as soon as this one gets full of oxygen, we should get somebody coming in and moving into this. Oh, there's our first car. So this, let's throw it on pause. So if you click on the car, we have one lonely person, and they're coming into this first habitat because now it has enough oxygen. And then it's going to tick up to 21 people. Bam. So we have 12 jobs, 21 population. So we have like 9 to spare. So these are going to continue filling with oxygen, and we're going to continue getting. So there's our second person, and it's going to go up and continue bringing people down until all the houses are full. So now it wants to get into research. But before we get into research, let's future-proof this a little bit. I want to leave room for power poles coming down the middle if we need them, and then room for another one of these so we can do like a double row. So if we go into gas and liquids, that's a 2x2. This is a 2x2. So I want to leave room for a road here. We're going to leave room for 2 more, 2 tiles for the next building, 2 tiles for this building, and then a road. So I think we can get away with it here. And let's go into water. Let's leave 1 space back, and just in case we need to move those power poles later, and which I probably will. Let's throw that there. So now we're going to have some water coming in as well. Now, it wants us to get into research. So it wants us to build a research lab. Now, again, we don't have to connect our research lab to either one of these, but I think we need copper and steel. So we have some copper, we have some iron. More copper there, there's iron here, copper. I think we're going to get into our research right here. So let's grab a simple road, and let's just throw a simple road down for now. And it's going to want to go into science. We're going to go into here, research lab. Wants us to build a research lab. And again, we want it to make right-hand turn. So let's turn the world. Back into here, research lab. It can go right there because our little road is coming in right here. Build a blue science pack factory. So let's leave room for a road. And it wants a blue science pack factory. So it'll come out of here, it'll make a right-hand turn, and then it'll go into the research lab. So now, this requires oil and carbon. And we're going to want eventually to expand this. So let's give ourselves a little bit more room to work. And now, so let's build our first row here. So we need crude oil extractor. So mines, small mines, crude oil extractor. Where's its little entrance at? So it's going to be to the left. So we'll plop you down there. It's actually the entrance came up on this side, but I think we're good. Okay, research. Press this button to open the tech tree. We did. Start researching farming. So let's research farming. Now, we have no power in this district, in this area. Eventually we'll make districts, but again, I'm going to keep everything separate. So let's come over here and let's see if one will do it. So this guy needs crude oil, but it also needs carbon. Now it did not tell us that it needs carbon, but it needs carbon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go under gas and liquids. This makes water. This makes oxygen and carbon. We're going to throw one down so we can get its carbon. So we got this first little truck of crude oil coming in. So if I hit pause, we hit this. It's transporting 2 crude oil to the science factory. And again, it's going to make a right-hand turn, go into the factory. And then this thing's also going to require carbon. So it's 2 to 1. So we should have a truck of carbon coming out as well. Coming into here. So right now we're using 24, but we have a bunch of population coming in. So we're up to 62 on our population. So now it's telling us that it needs carbon. Click on the blue science pack factory to see which resources are necessary. So 100% efficiency. And it wants us to research farming. So once it gets its required stuff and it starts making blue science, trucks should come out and go to the research lab. Bam. So we got 1 of 10, so 10%. Now, if we go up to here and we look at our production overview, this is globally because we don't have districts made yet. So a production over, check on production and consumption numbers for your city to see if you're producing enough to keep up with demand. If you want to fill up stockpiles, you need to produce more than you consume. Okay. Oh crap. I think I just turned the tutorials back off. There we go. So it's researching so we got a couple science packs in there, so let's wait till it researches farming. We'll let the tutorial catch up. Let's go back to not city statistics, back to production overview. So we are making 12 sand, 12 sulfur, but we're only consuming 6. So we're only consuming half, so we can get a second concrete factory in. And then where were we making our concrete? I wish I can zoom out further. That's my only complaint with this game. So we have, let's turn it this way because we have our sulfur and sulfur and sand coming up into the concrete factory. And right now it is consuming 6 and 6, but we have the capacity to do 12. So let's bring a road down here. And then if we go over here to this copy button, we can copy this factory, move it down. So again, we're keeping everything to the right. So our product's going to come in from the right, come down here, turn into here. And then our truck's going to come out and bring it into warehouse over here. So now if we go to our production overview, we are, well, it's a little bit higher. So we're making 12, consuming 12.6. I think that's going to change. It should go back to 12. I thought these were a 2 for 1. But I'm going to leave it at that for now. It's close enough. If we put 2 more of these down, then it's going to mess our ratios up. Okay, research is complete. We have unlocked farming and can now build a simple farm. So it wants us to select a research and then to build a simple farm. So if we go back into research, let's get into steel production next. And so now it wants us to build a simple farm. So let's go back to where our habitat is. And again, to keep everything flowing to the right, we need to get into farming. So if we come into back over here, so I'm sorry, food. So this is a 1x2. So what I want to do is I want to leave 2 spaces for more. So we can leave 2 spaces for another one. We can get a road coming down here. That'll future-proof this. And then we can get into farming. And then we can leave I'm going to move those electric poles. So now we're going to... this requires water, which we're making. And it's going to start making survival food. So if we come over here, they're getting the water. They need survival food next to upgrade our housing. So if we come over here and we zoom in, I think they... Okay, if you look on the top, it says 01. Habitat level 01. So right now they're just habitat level 1. We got to get them to grow. So it says we only have housing for 80 people. We have a population of 80, but we're only using 30 of those 80. So I'm not going to grow this until we need it, because I think as these upgrade, I think they hold more people, but don't hold me to that. So now if we go to our production overview, we could do more sand and more sulfur. I would like to probably overproduce. So let's go, while we're waiting for this to catch up with food, let's go back to our production overview. Does it show us the food on here? It does. So we're making 6, only consuming 3.8. So we're fine on that. Satisfy the needs of our habitat. So it's telling us we just need to wait until this reaches survival food is full, and then they'll start growing. So what I want to come back to is I want to come back to our concrete production. And what we're going to do is we are going to, since we have the population, we have 50 to spare, we are going to copy sulfur, throw another one in. We are going to copy sand. We're going to throw another one in, and let's check power. We're producing 80 using 40, so I think we're good on power. We'll go back to our production overview. Now we're bringing in nothing's yellow or red, so we're not out of balance on anything. So now we just need to wait for our first habitat to expand to a level 2. Before we move on. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to put too many factories down where your population cannot keep up, because you'll go into this death spiral. So we are researching steel, 75% done. Basic habitat is just waiting for our food to come in. So we should be making, we're making 12 water, we're using 9.8. So we do not need to increase anything yet. So now we're just a waiting game until this starts, say, habitat upgrading in 53 seconds. So we'll just wait for this to upgrade. Habitat is full. Fulfill the additional needs to upgrade. I thought it was upgrading. But it's still a level 1. We just got to be patient until the survival food catches up. We should be making enough. We're making 6 using 3.8. Research complete with luck steel production. Can now build a steel mill. I don't want to get ahead on the production. I want to be able to keep up with it and go like 1 for 1. So like research steel, make steel, move on to the next thing. But we'll let the tutorial, we'll let this catch up, and then we'll see what the next tutorial pops up. I think if this stays above 50% is when it'll upgrade. I think if it drops below 50%, then it stops upgrading. So the food just has to keep coming in. This is why I don't want to double up on our housing, because then it's not going to get stuff it needs quick enough, and then they'll start downgrading with people in it, and then you'll end up with a bunch of homeless people. So this should go to a level 2 in a couple seconds. There we go. You finished the tutorial, congrats. Now we're on our own. So this is a level 2. So eventually it's going to need home appliances. And it went from 10 people to 12 people. So now we have housing of 82, but we have 80 population. I don't want to grow this until we get enough industry coming in. Tutorial quick city info. We'll look at it. Maybe. This panel gives you a quick overview of your city. The top row shows how much concrete and steel you have available. If you need both materials to construct buildings. The third icon shows if you have enough power in your city. The bottom row shows how many people live in your city, how many workers are needed, and how much housing is available. So again, we don't want to get ahead of it. So we need steel to build, we need concrete to build. So let's work on steel. Steel requires iron ore and water. So we just need iron ore. So where do we want to make our steel? I think we're going to make our steel right here. We have 2 iron ore deposits to start with, and there's another iron ore deposit here. So let's grab a simple road. And let's go here. We'll keep it tight. And then we're going to want a mine. We're going to want a iron mine. And I guess we can... Now let's go here. Can I rotate you? I can. You're going to want to be out here, right? Yeah. Hang on. I had that backwards. You're going to want to be out here. I think I can put it on this row. Let's get a road. And we'll stick it here. Let's just go there for now. Alright, so you're going to start bringing in iron. Mines, industry, steel mill. And again, to make sure we're doing just right-hand turns, let's do, let's leave room to expand. Can I turn you this way? Will you connect? You will. And then let's get a simple road. Alright, so now it's going to need power. Okay, so it needs carbon and water. So let's bring this out. Alright, so it's going to need water and carbon. Let's put you there. And then I believe it requires water. So we'll stick you there. And then let's get our power. Let's put it down. Let's go up this way. And then we'll grab you. So let's come down here and then we'll go across to there. That should catch everything. Alright, so you need iron, ore, carbon, water to start producing steel. Now we're going to want to put it in storage. Fundamentals, small warehouse, bam. So we have our water coming out to the right, we have our carbon coming out to the right, we have our ore coming out to the right, going in here, coming out of here, going to the right, going into the warehouse. So we should be making steel. So now it's just waiting on carbon. So now we have 46 jobs, 84 population. So we're going to want to keep up with population while we figure out how many jobs we need. So there's our first truck with steel. So steel should tick up. There you go. So we're making the concrete, we're making our steel. Let's go to our production overview. Nothing's yellow, nothing's red. Steel, we're making 30. We're not using any because we're not building anything. Concrete, we're making 63. We're not 0 because we're not building anything. So right now we are golden. So we have our concrete coming in to build with. We have our steel coming in to build with. We're going to want to double this up. But we got to keep an eye on how many jobs we have versus our population. And now let's go back to our city. Again, I'm going to not remember where any of these are. So we have 3 of our houses are still level 1. 3 of our houses have leveled up to 2. We have enough housing for 86. We have 86. We need home appliances, so we have to work towards home appliances to get these up to level 3. So if we go into research, electronics, this will unlock the copper mine, electronics factory, home appliance factory, and plastic factory. This, we're going to want to get into solar, but it requires green science. We're not making green science yet. So we have farming unlocked, we have steel production unlocked. We're going to try and unlock everything that we need for blue before we get into green. So we're going to take it slow on what we're going to research. So let's queue up electronics, and it's going to take 40. So we'll wait for that to research, and then we're going to work on home appliances. Keeping an eye on our jobs, keeping an eye on our population. Keeping an eye on our production overview to make sure we're not going upside down. So as our housing upgrades and increases the space, we're going to keep getting people in. So immigration rate is high. Average habitat level is 1.5. Required habitat level 0. So we're on top of our habitat levels. We're on top of our production. We have 46 jobs, 86 population. So we have 40 people we can use yet without going in a death spiral. We're waiting on electronics to unlock. And like I said, I don't want to get ahead. Like I want to have like 10 researches completed and us not keeping up with what we want to build. So we're going to take it. We're going to take it slow. And we're going to figure it out as we go. I think I have a handle on the game, but we'll see if we get into a death spiral if I get ahead of myself. So basically we want to keep concrete coming in, we want to keep steel coming in. So we're going to want to like double these up every once in a while. And then we want to keep an eye on our food as our housing grows. It's going to require more oxygen, more food. So we're going to want to keep an eye on our food ratio. We're going to want to keep an eye on our oxygen ratios and everything, and our water ratios based on what our habitats need. So electronics is at 82%. This guy is getting ready to upgrade. So as our products come in here, I don't want to get into the habit of overproducing. You want to be like just on the edge. And I think we can move these power. Let's see. Let's get the power fixed while we're waiting. I want to get these on this side of the road. Up to here. So I can delete... Oh, hold on. Yeah, demolish. This guy can go. This guy can go. This guy can go. This guy can go. We'll start, and then I'll move this guy down. Oh, I broke the power. Oh. There to there. Alright. And then, now we're back on this side of the road. We should be fine. So we had one more level up. There we go. Tutorial. Outgoing storage is full. Outgoing storage is full. Each factory has two types of storage. The outgoing storage is where product is produced for shipment. So basically, each building has its own storage, and it's telling us that something has the outbound storage full. And it's not going to store it anywhere, but that's fine. Research is complete. So we have copper mine, electronics factory, home appliances, plastic factory. So now we're going to want to get home appliances going to keep our habitats upgrading. But I'm going to throw it on pause. I'm going to call the first episode here. I am Old Man 102. Please smash that like and subscribe on your way out and have an awesome day.